in a good position, but it's things that we have to accomplish, that we have to work on. Any questions about that? This is available, Brian, on the drive for Philip or whoever.
Yes, this is.
This will be available on the meeting. So as you're looking at that, and I have to say that Chloe resigned, and I'm so sorry for that. I really enjoyed having Chloe on campus. So that's one of those slots that we'll have to go back and look at it again. Is there, I don't think there's any other changes there, Chad, on the step. Yeah, Chris.
I noticed the grant is just kind of hanging out with nobody there.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have anybody yet. We have tried, we actually, Aubrey, do you happen to know how much money is still in that account from the city that we?
Around
8,000 is what's left. Yeah, we actually put together some monies to hire a grant writer at one time. This hasn't worked out yet. I would tell you that we now have some expertise on campus that over time it might evolve into something that we can actually fill that position. But at this point, we just don't have that. Even though grants are incredibly important to us, absolutely. I know Andrea will continue to work on some, but I don't consider there's enough on the other side without having to help write grants. There have been people in here, Sandy, for example, we've hired Iris Clark to help us write some grants for nursing. We'll be doing some other things on that side, so I think yeah, Chris, you're exactly right. It's not full, but it's something we desperately need. Okay, academic services and student services. Cheryl, over the last few years, has worked incredibly hard with our student services, business office, and whatnot. With Deb leaving, and again, not having the budget to rehire, at least in my opinion, we don't have the budget to rehire. I think that what we needed to do is go back and take a hard look at the people that we currently have. And Cheryl has taught full-time here. She has had successful programs in the business arena. She worked as, was it associate or assistant dean position? So she's, really her background has been in academics. And so I've asked her to assume the role of student services and academic services. Nobody can see it. Down to that level, we continue. I think that we're really in a good position with student services. I'm really impressed. I've heard nothing but great comments about what's going on there. The other positions, then, I've also asked Curtis if he would really focus on AAAS, dual credit, business and industry, strategic planning, which are all huge, huge programs. We need to be engaged with each of the high schools in our area with freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. There are new regulations and new laws which Curtis actually helped recommend for some of those. What was the program that you almost got?
It was the endorsed diploma task force.
Yeah.
We developed the recommended criteria for that diploma endorsement for all the high schools.
Right. So at this point, once all of the legislation is done, there'll be no reason that those students that are bound for college can't complete many of their courses in school, and I'm not just talking Lamar, I'm talking Springfield and elsewhere. There's no reason that many of those students that are vocationally bound cannot have much of their CTE offered while they're in school through us. And there's no reason that some of the core courses developmental and others could be offered to freshmen and sophomores as appropriate. And I don't think we've gone to that extent yet with dual credit, and that's something I've asked Curtis to do. We also have not, since I've been here, had a business and industry offering, and by that I mean either customized training or programs for our local communities that are lifelong learning. Some would refer to, cake decorating. I guess cake decorating could be community education, which is a vocational, which is just kind of fun stuff, unless you want to be a cake decorator, and then it's business and industry training. So same course can be both. And I'm sure that they'll blend. But I've asked Curtis to really design with Jenna a concept of business and industry training, and let's really build a program. We started small. We have one course that we're going to be offering, and what that course is going to do for us is to find alternate sources of revenue, donations, as well as Curtis and Jenna and Cheryl are working now on the pathway. How do we get this registered? How do we get it input? How do we charge for it? How do we get our money? All of the processes that we haven't had in place, because this could be huge for us, and we need to know how to do it. So we're taking one step at a time, and the actual course is called Steps to Start, on how to start a small business. And so we're pretty excited about it. And Marie's taking care of the marketing side. We are charging appropriately for it, and we're engaging the entire Prowers County, each of the communities, and hopefully all of the banks, so that we can make a success of this. That's our marketing technique, is to let people know we're in this business again. And it's huge, and it needs to be huge. It needs to be help our economy, and I've asked Curtis if he would take on that role. Of course, as well, engaged with strategic planning for all. Now finish with the Title III programs at this point. With Sandy, I've asked Sandy to take on, in addition to Director of Nursing, to be our Career Technical Education Dean for the campus. She has great experience in CTE, has had great success in the accreditation of the nursing program, as you've heard. And this includes being responsible and writing appropriately in concert with the faculty the Perkins grant, which we receive on a yearly basis, the filing of the 130B, 135 in concert with Mary Lou. She is the grading expert on campus, and we asked her to step up and help us with that as well. I don't know when you're going to announce your retirement, but it's 5 or 6 years away.
Right. 3 or 4 months away?
Oh, okay. Have we had that discussion? So, truly, she has done that for years, and we need her help in that regard. Let me tell you what happened when I first came here. Because we weren't integrated, because we were doing things in silos, we lost a ton of Perkins monies. We were not accounting for the students appropriately. We were not registering them correctly. We were not placing the 135s and the registrations and admissions didn't reconcile. And nobody's fault. I mean, everybody was doing what we thought was correct at that point in time, but it hurt the college as a whole. So I think one of the focuses we have to take now is we need to start looking at the health of the college and then the health of the programs, because without a healthy college, through accreditation, through funding, et cetera, you're not going to have a program. So this is the direction we're going. With Curtis and Sandy both, they have the knowledge, they have the skills. We'll help with any additional training